as I said, that need to be changed all the time with this stream. Oh my gosh! This is painful! This is painful, guys. Take a look at this. Vinch has quite possibly the worst map I have seen in a very long time. Look at all the hills. I discussed the hills. I feel so bad for the guy. He has a back gold, which is fine. But look at the wood. This is a nice wood line up here. But look at that woodland. I mean, when I say nice wood line, it's so far away still. Just an awful map. His closest wood lines are miles away, up a hill. He doesn't know this yet. He is right smack in the middle of a crater. And it's sad to see, because I really like Vinchester, and he's going all the way up that hill for wood. Fire, meanwhile, he did use his re. Both players have this series, and he has a much better map in comparison. He's a wood here, much better. Wood here, much better. Wood here, much better. And the main gold's not too shabby either. Fire, a player of his caliber, will see Vinchester's map, and I would not be surprised if he pressures the wood. On the flip side, Vinchester is going to have to be aggressive as well. Vinchester cannot let this game go very long, so he's going to have to do something. What can he do? We will see. Vinchester doing what Vinchester does in the early game, and he is luring in some deer now. And that's really smart for a good start, just to get a little bit of extra food. And he's going 4 to wood, and I think 4 to wood's a smarter choice. That way, you can be a little bit more flexible with 4 to wood. But, oh man, just how bad would this be if Fire spots the boar and makes this even worse for Vinch? And I think that's going to happen now. Oh man, guys, I think it's going to happen. Fire's going to lame him now as well. Vinchester cannot use a re. He used it in the arena game. Vinchester did end up winning. And he says, bad re. Perfect map here. Yeah, well, that's sarcasm. He's talking to Fire because Fire used a re last time in the Arabia game, and they had to replay, and this is what we're seeing. And Vinchester's saying, I have a perfect map now, you shouldn't have called a re. Well, this is just bad. And Fire should have no issues getting this back. Vinchester most likely will not be able to steal a boar back as well, because that boar will probably be coming in for Fire any moment now. And I just feel so bad for Vinch. It is not very often you see a top player struggle for resources, but Vinchester could struggle shortly. He's going to have 4 sheep, which is good. He might actually make it over to this boar. That'd be huge, but it's going to be a mess. Very good steal from Fire. You have to be cutthroat at this level, and there you go. Vinchester's going to do the same thing. You have to make a decision when you're in Fire's situation. Do you send a villager out while you're laming to try and bring in your own boar? Well, Fire didn't, and this is what we're seeing now. Vinchester is just going to bring one back. Oink, oink, oink. This is good for Vinch. But still, what will he do? It's an awful map. Fire's on his way to scout out the map a little bit more. And a lot of laming going on. But you can just see Fire has a huge advantage. His map, he can do anything he wants with this map. He can wall it off. He can go drush. He can get man-at-arms. He can go straight archers. Vinchester, I don't think he can afford to drush. I think he has to do something in the feudal age. And Britons, if they do go flush, which is an archer rush, it's normally pretty slow. And that was smart play from Vinchester to try and, well, to weaken the boar with his TC. And since Vinchester has been doing that a lot lately, I'll explain. If you kill the boar with your TC, you cannot collect food from it. If you weaken the boar with the TC, and then have the final shot with the villagers, then you can collect food from it. And players at this level, they can do anything. It's interesting that Fire is building so many houses, though. Okay, he is drushing now, so that makes sense. Vinch is actually going to drush as well. Okay, so Vinchester, maybe a defensive drush coming up to defend that wood line. But imagine if he didn't have that boar. That was huge, because he would only have the sheep underneath his TC. If I were him, I would think about getting the deer out here. And, ooh, Vinch is actually transitioned. He's actually going for man-at-arms. That's my guess anyway. Because if you look, I noticed that the foragers grabbed the food, took it to the mill real quick, and then he clicked up. I'm gonna struggle with this pronunciation, but Thrillathian. that was good. That was a good one. Thrillathian, thank you so much for the sub. Welcome to the T90 Elite. So we're gonna see man-at-arms from Vinch. The trouble is he's gonna have to defend from the Drush coming in from fire, and that could be man-at-arms as well. However, I don't see him on gold yet. So fire may be going for Drush FC or Drush Trash actually, because he still not on gold. He could go to it. We might see a tower from Vinchester right when he gets man-at-arms in. But Vinch is going to have to defend his own base, which is not going to be easy. And he probably expects fire to come in any moment now. Now, if fire is walled off from this side, that's going to be a large waste of time, because he's going to have to go to that wood line then. And you can see now, the man-at-arms are going to be in. And a forward archery range from Vinchester, actually. This is interesting. So forward archery range, very aggressive style from Vinchester. Man-at-arms already on its way in. He beat fire to the feudal age. And oh, the quick, oh my gosh! He's a freak! Did you see how fast that was? That quick wall is huge. It's gonna force fire around the outside now. And now he has man-at-arms on top of fire. 4 of them to be exact. 1 villager down. There's going to be a tower here. There's going to be an archery range here. 2 ranges from fire, but the aggressive play that was needed from Vinchester in this game is on full display. That was an epic quick wall. Fire needed one here as well. Not as professional, though. That villager's going to have to run back to the TC. That tower's going to be annoying, but not going to do much for Vinchester. You can see the man-at-arms can actually access the wood line. That archer from Vinch is actually going to go sit behind it. This is really smart play. Every single unit counts. All these villagers on wood for fire are going to have to go to this one now. Going to have to go to this lumber camp, because that archer will eventually get in with the man-at-arms. That archer is sitting behind the wood line. Now we're going to see skirmishers and archers from fire to try and defend from this. It looks like we're going to see an early blacksmith, early fletching from Vinchester, but he is piling on the pressure on the front, and rightly so. I definitely agree with this move. But he's so close to the TC. I mean, this is just so impressive. You can see fires over here. He's gonna have to pay attention to this. He has a blacksmith here, a tower, a house here. Then he also is fighting all around fire's base. He's running next to the TC. I think fire's gonna struggle to create skirmishers, because fire doesn't have enough farms, and fire now doesn't have berries, so fire will probably just go archers, which is what we're seeing. Is Vinch on stone back at home? He is not, and he is going to it now. I think he wants to tower this wood line, that's why he's going around. But he needs to be careful, because man-at-arms are going to attack his villagers on the berries, or gosh, well, berries as well, but on the deer, and now he's running away. Fire's doing the right thing. He has defended his base for now, and now he's going to counter. The Vinchester needs to defend from this counter and fast, or he needs to do some damage on the front and force fire back. And he's trying to do that. Unfortunately, the transition to stone was too slow from Vinch. If he had another tower going up now, it'd be perfect timing. But he's going to have to run away from this gold. If he can wall in these other 3 villagers, that'd be good. But he cannot fight on this gold anymore. You can see the wall did come up. He did lose a villager there. And the problem with forward buildings, guys, I'll say this time and time again. If you have forward buildings and you need to defend back at your own base, you're sending them back one by one by one by one. And it's just not ideal. As Fire is now sending in a group, he can defend back at home, but also he can send his groups forward. Vinchester's fighting with his bills. Vinch does have extra villagers, that's true. He does have a couple extra villagers, but at the same time, Vinchester also has had a lot more idle time, because these villagers have been on the front doing nothing. Now, he's going to go for a tower here. I don't know if Fire spots that. He does spot it, but there's nothing he can do. And this is interesting, because Fire has actually just placed these buildings. If you look at his wood, he cannot build another lumber camp. So once that tower goes up, he's going to need to save for a lumber camp. Reposition it probably over here, which is a little bit safer for him. The pressure's still coming in from Fire. I think Vinch needs defensive towers. Fletching's coming in from Fire now, and this could be bad for Vinchester. He just has to run away. No defensive archery ranges. We'll probably lose one villager. So close without Fletching. No, it's going to stay alive. That one. Also very close. Yeah, has gone down. Smart tower from Vinch, but I think after the aggressive play in the early game, he needs to think about defending his own economy. Basically, what he was thinking was, I need to go aggressive, so, you know, I can take the pressure off my own base. He has done that, but now he needs to come back, clean this up, and then maybe put some towers up, and then think about pushing out again. This is just really smart play. Both of these are actually walled up, so these towers are just going to be annoying. This tower actually will delay the farming here. That will not go up for the early game. It's going to have to be back here, farther away from the TC, so it's not as safe. And then the tower in the wood smart as well. So Vinchester is coming back now. He's actually running these villas away. He's going to try and clean this up. The smart. But still, it's not ideal for him as Fire comes in. Fire has a lot of archers. And, oh man, hashtag tree fitty. All these villagers on stragglers. Vinchester, pay attention, man. Oh man, how many are you gonna lose? He's 3 vills up right now, and he's gonna lose all 3. Smart play from Fire. Just left this one out here because he knew it was a guarantee. I like that play from Fire. And what a game we have here now. With the man-at-arms running forward from Vinch. He's massing again, and he wants to pressure this wood line. Fire still is not on stone. In fact, I need to look. Yes, okay, his stones he cannot access. So he can't build defensive towers, but Fire does have a lot more archers. More towers from Vinch. This is the smart way to do it. Vinch still has no defensive buildings, so it's not going to get easier as this game goes on. I think Fire has climbed back into this one, especially after killing those 3 villagers. And he has a small hill here. He really isn't fighting a large number of skirms, so I think he's going to continue to push in. And again, Vinchester has had idle time with these villagers on the front. It is not a pretty sight. Nice little runner from Vinchester with the man-at-arms. Unfortunately, a nice runner there from Fire as well. You can see the skirmishers chasing down this one archer. But as more units run forward, you can see Fire lost a lot of his archers, and he needs to produce. He's actually going for another archer range, so we're going to see a full feudal with Britons. And that was a good fight for Vinchester. In fact, he's microing now. We're going to see Vinch's micro. This could be really important as vills come in from Fire to fight. Mainly as a meat shield, Vinch should go for the army first. He's doing that, going for the archers, and now he's running away. Idle time now for Fire. And you can see Fire's now down here. Were those villagers? I believe those were villagers. He's killed 2 villagers at Vinchester's base. Such a close game. So important for all the players. The villagers still out here from Fire. Attacking the skirms. And it looks like Fire has pushed right back for the time being, but he needs to regroup next to his wood line. Fire needs a good mix of skirmishers, I think, with his archers. That's why he's losing these fights, because he doesn't have any skirmishers in there, but he doesn't have the food for skirmishers. But you can see Vinch is just struggling to defend at home. And Fire is doing a fantastic job with his archers running around. Okay, this is still the main fight. There's a tower from Vinchester. This could be a game decider. I don't think Vinch can get this up. He needs to run away. If he loses these villagers, that's a big deal. He needs to run away. He's doing that. That tower is halfway up, and Fire, recognizing this, is just going to batter this down. If that went up, that would be a nightmare for Fire. How are Vinch's resources? I mean, everybody's full feudal right now, so it's not good for Vinchester either. Vinch also doesn't have a lot of food. He's mainly creating archers, and I think Fire is actually back in the lead in this one just because of the amount of military he has. And he has a lot more than Vinchester. That was Vinch's play to get that tower up. Maybe he can get one up here. But Fire is going to try and push up this hill now. Man, what a game we have. I can't help but think that the raiding from Fire has really paid off. No gold coming in from Vinch right now. And oh boy. Fire is forcing Vinch's hand. The aggressive play continues. He's going to try and wall up the ranges. I do not think Vinchester can afford to rebuild archery ranges because he cannot afford to catch up in military right now. But look at this. Look at this cheeky tower. I want to see what Fire can spot. Fire did see the villager here. Okay. Vinch is going to put a tower right where I said. Just to be annoying later in the game. But he's going to lose his ranges. Oh, okay. We have a raid now from Vinch. Vinch is micro. How many vills can he kill? Or is he just going to sit them there? He only has 4 archers. 1 vill, and then he's going to run around. Okay. A tower will go up. Vinch should rebuild his ranges back at home. What a game. It looks like Fire slipped up, and he ran his archers into the TC. Look at the vill difference. Vinch is in the lead, but look at the army composition, and you'll see Fire's in the lead, and that can change quickly. So there's the tower. Oh my gosh! How did he pull that off? Look at that! Look at that! Vinch is gonna get another tower up. If he walls in these towers, all the towers he has up will be so annoying in the later stages, and Vinch actually is still running around with his army, still trying to be a pest. Fire may be making a mistake in sending these archers out because he doesn't have anything to defend at home, but we will see. He's killed 2 villagers, 3 villagers, and he will send all of Vinch's villagers away. But man, what a clutch tower from Vinchester. Fire has no wood. He's actually going over here now. That's where he's sending those villagers. He's going for a market as well, probably so he can buy wood, or maybe some stone or something. This is just such a messy game, but it's so beautiful at the same time. This is Vinch's wood line. He has 5 villagers here. Why? Because you can fit 5 villagers in each tower. He's going out to this wood line. Amazing play from Vinchester. And you know what? I need to touch on this quickly. Vinchester recognizes there's no villagers collecting wood here. No villagers collecting wood here. So they have to be here. And Vinch is running there now. And Fire's coming over to address that. This is wonderful play. Vinchester playing full map control, basically. He has a lot of skirmishers, but he's going to kill 2 villagers here. I really like that. Now, unfortunately, Vinch will lose a vill now. But Vinch knows exactly where Fire will be just because of what he has scouted and where he has his towers. But still, Fire, I think, has a little bit of an advantage with lack of idle time, the amount of farms he has. I just don't know, actually. It's so hard to call. Like, you look at the score, it's so close. I truly never favor someone who has offensive buildings only, and it looks like Fire is on his way to the Castle Age, and kind of proving my point. I think Vinch has been struggling back at home, but this is a large army from Vinchester. He's putting a tower up here on the gold as well. He's being so aggressive, but now he's going back. These 3 villagers, they are designated tower builders, and they have been doing work all game. The Fire is building another mining camp, so he's further back. And I would have liked to see knights from Fire, to be honest. Knights would have gone underneath the towers. Knights would have done a lot against the skirmishers, but he's probably going to go crossbows. Another tower from Vinchester. Fire could spot that. Woo, 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 woo. Get wrecked, Fire. I'm not sure where he's going, but he will lose that villager to a wolf. And I'm sure you guys will get the woo-woos in the chat for that. Vinch is still coming around, trying to cover that side. Get closer to the wood. Fire's relocating lumber camps. And Fire is running away from gold because there's too many skirmishers from Vinch. Vinch has gone full skirm, and maybe Fire is regretting the fact that he does not have a stable to go knights. There's another tower now from Vinchester. I'm not sure where these villagers are going for Fire. He needs to find the gold miners. What gold is he going to? Is he going to this gold? I think he is. He needs to find more gold. More stone, more everything, more wood. Vinch is still going in with towers. This kid, he is the wonder kid, and now we have a barracks from Vinchester. I think Vinch is expecting knights. So I'm not an idiot, because he's going for a barracks, but there will be no knights from Fire yet. You can see crossbows coming in. A siege workshop from Fire, so he's gonna try and take all these towers out, but there's another one now, and he's Gonna need to go for the skirmishers as well. Still, Fire should be favored here. I just don't know if Vinch can do it with no eco. And especially up against the Britain range, it's going to be so hard to get more towers up. I just... This would really suck for Vinchester if he expects knights, and then he commits, like, through the TC or something to go to the wood line, and he runs into a Mangonel. He can still win this. If you look at this wood line, it's atrocious, and there's so many builds here. If he masses some archers with the skirms, and then goes with a lot of spears, which could, of course, pick off the Mangonel, he could do it. But Fire's doing the right thing, and he's coming over to this gold now, taking down that tower which Vinch has put up. And he's gonna just try and get a little bit of map control back. Also, he did have crossbows over here, and Vinch is forever idled. I think the longer this game goes on, Fire's Castle Age technology will continue to bring him back into this, if he's not already ahead. Because the range is just so important, the technology is so important, and it's idling a lot of villagers from Vinch, and he's sending the skirmishers back now. This could be good for Vinchester. Vinchester hasn't scouted out that gold yet. He isn't on stone anymore. He isn't on his main gold. This is his base. It's just a messy, messy game. But without defensive towers, it could be rough for Vinch. And what is this push from Fire? What? Is he going after the tower, or is he running forward? He's going after the tower with 10 villagers. This isn't a messy game. Not a messy game at all. It looks like Vinch actually got this tower up as well with one villager. This is one of the scrappiest Britain wars I've ever seen. A market now going up for Vinch, I think a little bit late, but he will buy himself to Castle Age. And Fire is getting pushed away. Back at Vinch's base. Vinch still has a large Vill lead. Vinch could do this! And there's no knights from Fire. Fire had lost 2 villagers here, it looks like. There's stables from Vinch on the front, which I don't particularly like, because now Fire's going to see that. But Fire just needed wood. And he's going there now. He has no wood. This is honestly one of the best aggressive plays I've ever seen, if this works out. Because, and I'm gonna have a lot to say about it, but Fire is in the Castle Age, and we'll look at the difference in times, but Fire was well ahead with the Castle Age upgrade, and Vinch is doing the right thing, and he's gonna go Knights, and in fact, he's actually making a couple scouts right now. This is well played. Like, the map control, the knowledge from Vinch to do what he has done this game has just been amazing. He's still over here. Let's see how this plays out. That's a large army from Fire. Vinch is probably going to need to upgrade these skirmishers, get Bodcanero, because you can see Fire has done that. Oh man, Fire's over here now. Vinchester's trying to wall this off. He cannot build a tower. He needs to micro down the crossbows. He didn't get the stable up, so he's only on one stable. That's at 85%. These villagers are still idled. This fight's very important. You can see Vinchester tried to wall in these units, and actually did a lot of damage as well. Very smart play. Elite Skirmisher, and now Bodcanero coming in. Again, he will probably clear out Fire. Vinchester is at home on Arabia, and Vinchester will push Fire away. Now, a Knight's coming out. Another one on its way. With Elite Skirm and Knights, you have to favor Vinchester. Vinchester has 6 extra villagers, and he continues to push back Fire every time Fire's here. And now, he's scouting with the Elite Skirms. If he gets over here, this is huge, because then he's going to find the gold. He must be thinking, okay, I have to go to this gold, and I have to find if he's anywhere else on the map. There's the Siege Workshop. He's going aggressive. Don't like the fact he has ran his Knights this way, because there's a lot of crossbows now. Looks like he's patrolling with his skirms defensively. But look at Vinch's wood lines. Wood line here, wood line here, wood line here. I mean, it's just awful. His map is disgusting, but still, he is doing a great job. Now a university from Fire. If Fire is able to get ballistics, and he's able to mass a lot of crossbows, this could be a big deal. This could be really difficult for Vinchester, and I've been saying that for a long time, but it looks like Vinchester going to use this knight and get so close to take out the Mangonel. No, went down to 3 HP or 4 HP. But as this game goes on, the struggle for wood is going to continue, and I think Vinchester recognizes that. He wants to continue to pressure this map, which is just so bad for Fire, and Fire is just now getting double bit axe. That's a really late time for that. Good split from Vinch. Vinch's micro on full display, as usual. He's fighting uphill, and he's won that fight. Uphill, and he won that fight. If he can free up his archer range, that'd be huge as well. Skirmishers killing crossbows. This is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful from Vinchester. If you're wondering if I'm fanboying Vinchester right now, I really am. No doubt about it. You gonna go for a TC somewhere? He doesn't have the stone. I mean, is Vinchester gonna try and build up some eco? There we go. There's a stone miner. Okay, so again, still fighting uphill, Vinch. More skirmishers and crossbows. If you look at the military count, you can see Fire's in the lead, and Fire has the hill. And this is the hill he needs to hold to, because that's his wood. If Fire's able to clear out these towers, that's a game change. But Fire's not going for ballistics. I think he needs to win a couple more fights before he's able to justify going after those towers. That Siege Workshop's still there from Vinch. I think Vinch needs to be careful with his Mangonels, because Fire has a few of them. And this is where it can get nasty for Vinchester. Because there's a lot of crossbows coming over from Fire, and they have ballistics. But you know what? Vinch, playing it smart. Is he patrolling here? I hope he's patrolling here, because he should be able to at least see... There we go. At least see the crossbows coming in and try and react. The Mangonels did engage over here. I can't quite tell what happened, but it looks like Fire won that engagement. And Vinchester is pushing back the crossbows. This is wise play from Vinch, as he now gets ballistics himself. And is going for another archer range. This is the first archer range, 48 minutes in, that Vinchester has built defensively. The first defensive military building from Vinchester. He is still in the lead. He's at the top of the hill with the Mangonel. He needs to clear out that Mangonel from Fire, though. Is he going to go for it? He has. 1 for 1. Fire's attacking with villagers, which is even worse than the feudal age now. Vinchester is all over this guy still, and you know what? Every time I think that Fire is going to come back into this, Vinchester pushes him away. And look at all the villas going down here. Vinch coming in with skirmishers now. A knight coming out to clear out the Mangonel. Look at the score difference now. Look at the bill difference now. This game was a masterclass from Vinchester, and I think we are getting near the end of it. Fire is desperate. Fire's getting pushed away again. Vinchester is everywhere, and he's going to be adding in skirmishers with ballistics, crossbows with ballistics, and Mangonels, and the random knight as well. And look at his microing down each and every crossbow. Doesn't care about the vills. Taking out all the gold units. Beautiful micro from Vinchester. I love it. I love it. And Fire is still losing crossbows anytime he sends it in. Fire, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Oh, you know what? He needs wood, because there's towers everywhere. He's building another lumber camp over here. Vinch is over here, pushing away those crossbows once more, and Fire calling the GG. That is a perfect example of what you do with a shitty map. So if anyone ever says, bad map, that's why so-and-so lost, that's a bunch of baloney. Vinchester beat a tyrant player, Arabia, right? And he owned him. Look at this base. Look at Vinch's base. It's so exposed. Vinchester, he knew exactly what he needed to do. He went aggressive from minute 1, and he defended when he needed to. He recognized the most important thing in this game, and that was wood. And he went for the wood lines. And Fire, in the end, as you can see here, ran out of wood. That was beautiful play from Vinchester. It was amazing. It was beautiful. We're going to get into game 4 now, but that was the best game I've seen in the AoC Champions League, and probably one of the better ones I've seen in a year's time, because there's so many things you can learn in that game from Vinch. Like, what really impressed me was, like, Fire, when he hit the Castle H, he wasn't going into stables, but Vinch immediately started making spears and getting scale mail. Like, he recognized that knights could be coming. He recognized he needed to continue to make towers, like, amongst the fights as well. He recognized he needed to hold to this hill and not boom up. He recognized he needed to patrol here and protect his awful wood lines. He recognized so many different things. It was beautiful from Vinchester, and